have an update for the situation in Clash Royale. I think this surprised a lot of people today. The Supercell CEO guys actually submitted a public apology, and I'm going to show you guys the revised article that he changed. I'm going to show Jinxie's reaction to the apology as well as other creators and my own. So let's dive into it, guys. It's been a very eventful last couple days in the Clash Royale community, that's for sure. So he updated his blog post with something he said he should have included from the beginning: proper recognition of Royale creators whose passion from tournaments to content to community building was central to the game's best year ever. That's on me and me alone. I'm sorry. So first and foremost, you can say what you want, and I can show my exact response later. I think most of us can agree this was better than nothing. Before we get into what he actually wrote, I was not expecting him to actually apologize, because from that article, it did make them sound very arrogant, and I did not expect them to actually kind of backtrack on what they said and apologize. The tweet did get a lot of likes. I'll show some of the replies under the tweet too, but first, guys, let's get into what he actually said. So we're going to scroll down here to the Clash Royale section where he talked about it being a historic year, right? And he added an addition basically to the blog post published on the 12th. So he didn't really make, I guess it's not a new post, it's an addition to it. And the original post was on February 12th. So it says here, since this blog was posted on the 10th of February, I've seen the reaction to the Clash Royale section, and I want to address it directly. In short, I failed to acknowledge the role that creators, pro players, and the broader community played in Clash Royale's resurgence. That was my mistake, no one else's, and it runs counter to everything I believe about the impact creators have on our games and our business. I am sorry. The intent was never to diminish anyone's contribution, but intent doesn't matter when the impact is real. I understand why it hurts, and that's on me. Throughout 2025, we saw creators self-organizing tournaments, celebrating Royale through art and memes, and reminding millions of people around the world why Clash Royale is special. Creators like Jinxie returned to the game with incredible passion, investing their own time, money, and energy into bringing Clash Royale back to cultural relevance and introducing many new players, including some of the biggest names in streaming to the game. That kind of love for Royale can't be taken for granted, and it deserves to be acknowledged loudly and clearly. Back to my original post now, but I want to address this head on. Thank you to all of you. I genuinely wasn't expecting this, especially him specifically mentioning Jinxie. I was not expecting that to happen. Now, you could argue, okay, this happened because of the outrage and the backlash they got, and this isn't genuine and authentic, which is part of how I responded. But I wanted to first, guys, show you Jinxie's reaction, because this is what prompted all this in the first place and is likely why he added that addition. So he said he appreciates the apology from the Clash Royale CEO after ripping it in and then for not giving any credit to revive the game. So I'll just play the clip here. It's only like a little over a minute.
I do appreciate that he said my name and shouted out creators. He definitely could have shouted out more people than me. I could probably name like 10 people right now. He should have shouted out Riley. He should have shouted out Mo. He should have shouted out Ken. He should have shouted out Royale. He should have shouted out OJ Gaming. He could have shouted out Boss. He could have shouted out Morton.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect him to mention me, man. Yeah, let's go. But it really goes to show how humble he is, because he did probably have the largest impact. Ken did as well. We can't underestimate Ken's impact, but I would say Jinxie and Ken had like the largest out of all the creators. But every creator plays a role and a part in this, and I mean, it goes to show he's pretty humble. Like, he's mentioning all the creators. It's pretty cool to see.
And he could have shouted out Juicy J, but it's a step in the right direction that he said creators. Okay. That's the first thing I want to say. Would this apology even be a thing if he didn't see the loads of backlash? Honestly, unbiasedly, would this apology be a thing if he didn't see loads of backlash?
Realistically, probably not.
Probably not. Like, let's just be honest. If I would have made that tweet, and let's say that tweet got 1,000 likes on Twitter, he probably wouldn't have issued this apology. I'm just gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. That's how the fucking corporate world works, bro. If I would have made that tweet and it got 800 likes, there probably would have not been an apology. So it's like, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I will say this, I'm also surprised that he did apologize. I actually am. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I'm very surprised as well. I really am. as far as the reactions he was getting under it, he actually did get ratioed by Invader. This is such a pitiful attempt at covering yourself, but whatever. He's done way more than you and the team probably realize. It really sucks for what could have been, in my opinion, if y'all listen to him, but hey, at least y'all put his name in the article. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Creators are the heart and soul of the Clash Royale community. Some of the most passionate and talented people show up and put countless hours in, which definitely contributes to the game's growth. Well, I hope at least he and the team realizes how passionate the creators really are and how big of an impact they have, probably bigger than they anticipated, which is why this is a start in the right direction, guys. So this is why I said, regardless of how genuine this message is, I think most of us can agree it's better than nothing. Question is, will they take initiative soon and address key concerns in the game, like how accessible Heroes in Level 16 is? Guys, it's definitely... You definitely can say it wasn't genuine for sure, and I can understand why people are still angry at him, and it's just because the backlash came out. But me and Jinxie and other people, I still think there's some people genuinely surprised they actually apologized and kind of backtracked a bit. And I think that's the main thing people are surprised about. With Zach stated it really well. This is kind of my stance as well, why this is good, because a lot of people don't apologize nowadays, and no one asks for forgiveness these days when they mess up, because and it takes the weight of the blame onto this person, removing any blame from the game or others, which I doubt is really the case. And it's not too late to backtrack, even though the heroes in level 16 are still shit. So this is a good first step forward. And then a lot of people are saying this. I don't know how accurate this translation was, because this is a Spanish creator, but I really liked his take on it. There are still a lot of creators, and me included, the game is still in a horrible spot. The boycott is still happening, of course. I think I'm probably not streaming the game again, most likely, until global tournaments come back in March, unless there's major changes. That's my plan, to not stream for a while. I already stated that in my last video, but creators are so important to the game, they say, but aside from a couple balance changes, I don't think a single creator's feedback has been used in months. Our opinions are formed based on our whole community's. So the community has basically been ignored. He said here, almost any of us could have predicted the revenue would go down because of the heroes in level 16, and that many players would quit. I wonder if they actually thought the revenue would increase, or if they were forced to do this by 10 cents somehow. How have Hero Goblins not gotten an emergency nerf yet while being in 2/3 of the top 200 decks? Of course, we are delayed the nerf so people can spend their money on past Royale first. And that's exactly spot on. What I wanted to show you guys is Jinxie came up with a list of things, essentially, after this is the CEO response. He basically came up with ideas of things that would improve the game, making progression easier, and pivot away from heroes, bring back Evos. He later said one hero slot would be the solution. I agree with that. They can't take away heroes. It's too late to do that, but one hero slot, new cards, new champions, season shop, fire certain members on the balance team. To add on to this, maybe instead of firing members, they need to add more members to the balance team, because I think there's too many excuses of, I don't know, them not implementing balance changes because they're away on vacation or holidays or stuff like that, or that's why they can't make quick changes because there's not enough people on the team. Then they need to hire more people. If they had more revenue, they should be hiring more people with that revenue instead of spending it on a Lil Wayne concert, right? There's way better ways to manage that revenue. Maybe hire more people to the team. Bring back global tournaments. They're coming back next month. And make the battle pass $5 and buff the rewards. The reason why this is really good is more people actually spend money on the game. He was making that argument, and it's very true, because if the rewards are better, more people are going to be buying it, which it's ironic because you would think they'd be making less money, but they'd actually be making more, because if the players are happy and there's more playing the game in general, they're, of course, going to be making more money, guys. And there's a official boycott day that's been announced for the mass install. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. It's crazy, bro. Friday the 13th is right around when this is going on, which is tomorrow, by the way. So I guess a lot of people might catch on to that because it's on, Friday the 13th, which doesn't happen too often, but it's kind of like a spooky day of the year. The final chapter is what it's called. That's kind of funny. And then here it says, make Michael Bolton the subreddit profile picture. Thank you for saving the game, Michael Bolton. Man, I'm never going to forget them mentioning Michael Bolton in that article. Oh my gosh, it's just going to be one of the things the community remembers for a long time. That's for sure. So with all this being said, guys, I hope they start to make some changes soon. It seems like with the CEO's response, there's actually a small chance there could actually be some changes made, because what it really goes to show is, well, when the community kind of forces them to listen, they actually can, because the CEO apologizing is proof of that. Because that was almost, we forced that to happen. So if the creators stand together, I think what this has proved, the CEO's response, is that maybe there's more of a possibility for change than we imagine, but we just have to really make an effort and push back against their decisions and boycott in order for that to be the case. And hopefully with a lot of the changes other creators suggested and a lot of the ones Jinxie had in that list end up coming to light, especially the one hero slot. I think that's the most important, and bringing heroes back. I think those are some of the most important ones, and making progression easier. I think that's one of the only ways they could save themselves if they do it soon. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe, and thanks again. Until next time, guys.